'Tis a night of baseball from the Mile High City. Tonight, the Houston Astros wrapping up this road trip in a brief two-game series as the Houston fans painting Coors Field orange. Lots of them in attendance and ready to see the Astros get a two-game sweep and pick up win number 68 of the season. It is the Astros and Colorado Rockies. Alongside Jeff Blum, I'm Kevin Eschenfelder filling in for Todd Callis for one more day. Good day it was last night for the Astros, and things really fell into form. An Astros team that scores a lot of runs on the road, and they pitch very well as well away from home.
Yeah, and that's the one thing that's been the mainstay, has been the pitching. And you can see the opponent runs per game on the bottom. That tells you what the pitching staffs are giving up. And the Houston Astros have great pitching, but while they're on the road, they also get that run support, and that's what you want to see, is that 5.7 runs per game. That means they're good, getting on base at a pretty good clip, and they're also driving in a ton of runs. But for the Rockies, they come back home, they put up some good run totals, but they just don't have the pitching to shut it down. They got good starting pitching last night, but it was that bullpen that ended up blowing it for them last night.
Yeah, in last night's game, it was tied at 2 going into the 10th inning, and well, to quote Ron Burgundy, that escalated quickly as the Astros put together a 6th spot. All started with Josh Reddick, 2-base error after a single.
It really did. When they come to a fight, they bring a lot of weapons. Reddick getting on base, Tony Kemp getting a big hit. And remember, Max Stassi ended up getting that walk and was on base in a 1st and 3rd situation. But then A.J. Hinch decided to use that pinch hitter, taking Rondon out of the game, but gave an opportunity to the young man Kyle Tucker to come up big, ambushed Wade Davis with that fastball and hammered it in that right center field gap. And then it just continued the onslaught with George Springer going deep. The 7th inning on, the Astros are hitting .266 this season with 41 home runs now.
And Gerrit Cole was absolutely dominant. He was pitching a shutout going into the 7th inning. He ends up striking out 9 and giving up 2 runs.
And we know that Gerrit Cole is predominantly fastball, curveball, the occasional slider mixing in there, but last night he had to change things up a little bit here in the thin air of Denver. He got heavy on the fastball and blew it by some of these guys 9 times to what Esch is talking about. But in 102 pitches, 76 fastballs from Gerrit Cole.
Coming up, Charlie Morton gets the start tonight, looking to reverse the curse of Coors Field. You by Southwest Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. By Arctic, overbuilt, not overpriced. And by Volkswagen. Coming up, the Astros have taken celebrations to a whole nother level. But now, there's one guy that they have to work on. It's the rookie. Julia Morales will explain when we come back.
At the end, we also saw them celebrate with just as much enthusiasm or more as we have all season. It was a big win for this group. The two of the best at celebrating and having that enthusiasm would be George Springer and Alex Bregman. It's our Toyota Get Out and Play. You're looking at some of the celebrations that they have. The Alex Bregman look. There's George Springer, who's a great dancer, named one of the best on the team, also likes to kiss his bat sometimes. Here's Alex Bregman, who sent one out of here last night for his 21st on the season. Has to make sure he finds his way to the camera. This is a tradition like none other right now. The look, you just have to wait for it. These guys are pretty good at it. And if Tony Kemp is ever around, you know there's going to be hugs involved. But last night it was a lot of fun. George Springer going deep, so was Alex Bregman. There's the hug I was just mentioning. They're having a lot of fun in that dugout, as they should for a team with 67 wins. And they've got a new rookie on the team as well, guys, who had a huge hit in last night's win. A little bit different celebration from Kyle Tucker, and he heard about it from his teammates. We're going to have more on that later on during the game. Kevin.
Different to say the least. Yeah, he's still playing it close to the vest. I'm not sure if he knows where all the light switches are around, so he's still trying to play it cool right now, because they're going to try to bring out the celebration in Kyle Tucker. He had a lot to celebrate, though, last night with that big 2-run triple in the 10th inning. Tonight's Astros starting lineup is presented by Southwest Airlines, as George Springer will be leading off, followed by Alex Bregman and Jose Altuve. Yuli Gurriel heads up the middle third. Josh Reddick, since June 6th, hitting .295. Marwin is in there as well with the 7-game hitting streak. Kyle Tucker's in left. Max Stassi is behind the dish. He will catch Charlie Morton, who will bat ninth in this game. That is a lineup that will face John Gray, the 26-year-old, making his 19th start of the season.
Come at you, fastball, slider, curveball. Throws pretty hard, averaging 95 miles an hour. That strikeout rate is up this season for John Gray, but he's also had a couple of starts in AAA. Earned himself a demotion. Might have been a little disciplinary, but fighting his way back on this team. Pitched well last time out here in Denver against Seattle. Went 7 1/3, only gave up 1 earned run.
Last night we were delayed by an hour. It never rained. Tarp never came out on the field. We were just about guaranteed that we were going to be delayed tonight as George Springer takes ball one. 1 ball and 1 strike. The rain split and went around to the north and went around to the south, and we stayed dry here at Coors Field for the time being. So some gray skies, dark clouds around. Springer shoots that one to the right side, right at Ian Desmond. There's one away. Charlie Blackmon's in center. Parra and Gonzalez flanking him in the outfield. Story and Hampson in the middle infield. Nolan Arenado as good as they get defensively, and Ian Desmond at first base. And it'll be Murphy behind the plate catching John Gray. Alex Bregman steps in. Alex putting together a really good run, best run of his career. Takes ball 1. Alex has the average up to 284 with 21 home runs. Hit his 21st home run of the season last night. 2-run shot to get the Astros going. 2-0. Also driven in 68. Astros at 67 and 36 with a 6-game lead on Seattle in the American League West. That one hit up the middle. Fielded by Hampson, the second baseman, and Ian Desmond completes the play on the tag. 2 away. There's a 4-3 putout. With 2 outs for Jose Altuve, 328 hitter. Jose still looking to get into double digits with those home runs. A couple of hits in last night's game. So last night it didn't rain and we were delayed. Tonight we weren't delayed. There's rain all around.
Yeah, it looks worse tonight.
Arenado on 2 hops. That'll retire the side. Astros go down 1-2-3 in the first. Spot followed by Ian Desmond and Nolan Arenado. Carlos Gonzalez, Trevor Story, and Gerardo Parra. Garrett Hampson, Tom Murphy will get the start tonight behind the dish, and John Gray will bat ninth for Colorado.
Charlie Morton on the mound for the Houston Astros. 19 starts this season, very good record at 11-2, a lot of strikeouts, 146. He is approaching a career high that he had last year with 163 strikeouts. Try and see what that pitch usage will be for Charlie Morton going against these Colorado Rockies. Wonder if he'll do the same exact thing that we saw from Garrett Cole last night.
He has the tools to replicate it, and I don't see why you would deviate away from the game plan. A lot of four-seam fastballs up in the zone, and that curveball there and a good one, and it's 0-2.
Yeah, right out of the chute, second pitch. That looked like a great breaking ball here in the thin air.
Numbers on Charlie Blackmon. He played a big factor in last night's game, not necessarily with the bat, but rather with the glove. Josh Reddick hit a single in front of him in the 10th inning last night. Ball skipped by him, went all the way to the wall, and Reddick was at third base in the 10th inning with nobody on. Astros scored 6 runs in the 10th inning last night. Won the game 8-2. Didn't miss by much. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Pretty good pitch by Charlie Morton. We'll see on our MD Anderson strike zone that it caught a lot of the zone.
Curveball on one hop. Bregman throws. And a good stretch by Yuli Gurriel, and there's one away. Well, Charlie Morton, we talked about it earlier, has not pitched well in this ballpark. It is a different Charlie Morton than the Colorado Rockies have ever seen, that's for sure. Ian Desmond, a .239 hitter. The interesting thing about Ian Desmond, he's hit 19 home runs, and you're thinking, well, he's a Colorado Rocky. Only 5 of those have come here at Coors Field. It's this one to right, Reddick over, makes the easy play. Charlie Morton would rather pick a different venue. At home against Colorado and on the road has been 2 different stories.
Yeah, that's a very polite way of saying it. My goodness, he has faced Colorado with his home field maybe back in Pittsburgh, but here on the road at Coors Field, it has been rough. And again, the Charlie Morton that has come through here, last time he pitched here was 2015, and it was sinker slider. In 92 with minimal sink here in this thin air and an occasional sliders, going to get beat around a little bit, but it's going to be different today for some of these guys like Nolan Arenado who are facing Charlie Morton again. But he's got high velocity, throws a lot of four-seam fastballs. He will get up in the zone. But early on, we've seen a couple of curveballs already that's shown some pretty good break.
He's changed the plan from early in the season as well, gotten away from the sinker as much and more the four-seam.
Getting all up in the kitchen of Nolan Arenado with that running fastball.
Arenado, a .309 hitter, 25 home runs. That's tied for the most in the National League. Right at Marwin. Scoops and throws, and that'll retire the side. We go to the second, scoreless.
Dodgers in this one. Facing off are a couple of all-stars. AJ managing the American League team while Bud Black was in that National League dugout, invited by Dave Roberts. So not too much to catch up on since they just got to see each other, but extremely close friends. So you knew they were talking smack before this series started and got together to catch up on a few things, as they always do. These two go back to the San Diego days when AJ Hinch was still in the front office and Bud Black was managing then, and they've kept in touch ever since. AJ said that Bud was a huge part of his interview process. He went to Bud with lots of questions on what to do, how the process was going to go. So that helped him for sure. They've managed against each other since. He said it's funny sometimes to compete against your friends, but always a good time with Bud Black, guys.
All right, Julia, Yuli Gurriel leading it off here in the second. And you know, Bud Black yesterday in his meeting with the media, he had one question. It was, where's Jeff Blum? He's a big Jeff Blum fan.
No, we had a good time. I was a San Diego Padre when Bochy left and Bud Black came in, and we developed a relationship early on. He's an easy conversation, great baseball guy, and brutally honest.
Back up the middle, Hampson steps and throws, and just one away. Now, he went back, and I mean, he dug deep. He talked about your days in Ottawa.
Yeah.
He was in Buffalo.
Hey, you got to grind your way to the top sometimes, and he's one of those guys that did it. Had a pretty good career pitching-wise.
He's a big Jeff Blum fan, I can tell you that. Well, so far, so very good for John Gray with one out here in the second inning. Josh Reddick steps in.
Well, I feel like when it's good for John Gray, it's good. When it goes bad, it goes real bad.
That's what everybody says. And the maturation of a starting pitcher and his ability to weather through the storm. When things get tough, how do you react to it? And everybody we have talked to, the word has been is that he has not reacted well. He pitched very well last time out, as you said, after going down to the minor leagues. Made a start down in Albuquerque, came back with 7 1/3 in that first start against Seattle. This one popped to left. Eduardo Parra makes the play, and there's 2 outs.
Josh just missed that slider, kind of fluttered and hung up out of the plate, but his pitch usage this season, 51% fastballs. He will go quickly to that slider, trying to get that down and in to left-handed hitters. Curveball, and then sparingly that changeup will show up every once in a while. And again, the average velocity on that fastball is 95 miles an hour.
He can bring it a little bit. 3rd overall pick in the 2013 draft out of the University of Oklahoma. Marwin Gonzalez takes strike 1. Marwin had a hit in last night's game, hitting .237 on the season, a 7-game hitting streak. The 2013 draft, Mark Appel went #1. Then it was Chris Bryant and John Gray going 3rd to the Rockies. Jerry Lane calling the balls and strikes in this one tonight. Jordan Baker's at first. Greg Gibson at second. Vic Caraponza is at 3rd base. A ball and 2 strikes.
There's that fastball challenging Marwin. When Marwin's going good, he usually catches up to the heater.
Astros got their 35th road win of the season. Now 3-1 on this road trip. They're 35-15 away from Minute Maid Park. High in the air on the left side. Parr comes in, makes the basket catch, and that'll retire the side. Scoreless after an inning and a half.
poll. Remember, you can find it on Twitter at ATT Sportsnet SW. Denver, a beautiful place to visit in the summer. We've seen a ton of Astros fans out here, as well as some of these other cities. So we ask, if you're planning an Astros vacation, which city would you most like to see them play in? Seattle, Denver, Chicago, Boston. Those are your choices, but tweet at us. Tweet us picks too. We like those if you've been to those cities. Great Astros crowd again tonight, guys.
To say, there's a lot of people planning those vacations around these games. There were a lot of fans in Anaheim, a ton of fans here in Colorado. Carlos Gonzalez bats to lead off in the second inning.
We were down getting ready for the game and hanging out in front of the Rockies dugout, and a couple of guys actually came up to me and asked me, "Do you guys travel this well?" And I said, recently it's been real good, but it's probably the best representation other than Arlington that we've seen on the road.
Hit well to right, and forget about that one. Carlos Gonzalez, a big blast, his 17th of the season, and the Rockies get on top 1-0.
Fastball down and in, happy spot for Carlos Gonzalez. Not much in that thought process as a left-handed hitter when you get a fastball in that down and in region. Just drop the head.
Trevor Story takes ball one. That was the 12th home run of the season for Carlos Gonzalez. Trevor Story had his 13-game hitting streak come to an end last night.
It's also the 12th home run that Charlie Morton's given up this season.
Out on the right side, base hit. So back-to-back hits here in the second inning to get things started. Brings up Gerardo Parra. Tons of Astro fans. They're all here to see the Astros. Julia Morales. She's got a chance to see a lot of the fans out here. Drove over 1,000 miles wearing that jacket. Plummer's got one just like it.
I also got the batteries to go with it.
Complete with the white buttons. Parra takes strike one. Parra had a hit in last night's game, drove in the game-tying run in the 7th inning to tie the game at 2. Oh, and 2. That was close at first base.
I caught him leaning.
As you know, 2 Astros picked off in last night's game. Is that close? Charlie last worked in the All-Star game in D.C. Trevor Story hit a home run off of him in that game. First strikeout of the night for Charlie Morton.
Tickets are available for the final Lone Star Series of the season presented by Texas Lottery. Cheer on the Astros this weekend as they take on their in-state rivals, the Texas Rangers. For tickets, visit astros.com/tickets.
Second baseman Garrett Hampson bats with one out here and a run in the second inning. Charlie last started on July 12th, went 4 1/3. It was his second shortest outing of the season. Gave up 3 runs, 6 hits in the game against the Oakland Athletics. Took a no decision in that game. Here goes the runner. Throw down, and that is there. Max Stassi put it right on the bag.
It was a heck of a throw, good pop time. Come up firing. He doesn't come flying out from behind home plate, but he definitely makes sure that he gets some good velocity behind that throw. Good catch and tag by Jose Altuve also.
And now 2 away. Hampson made his major league debut Saturday night in Arizona. Second at bat, but his first major league hit, a double.
Good peek at Stassi holding his ground back there, getting to his feet, but he really made an emphasis on making sure that he made a strong throw down there.
.30 pitch to Hampson. 3-1. And it wasn't the greatest pitch to throw on from Stassi. He was kind of down and had to reach down and away to get that pitch.
Well, it was good in the sense that it was a fastball, but you're right, the location not ideal for him to be able to get up there and make a quicker transition. That last 2 pitches were pretty good.
That just missed if it did. Last 2 pitches of that plate appearance.
Well, 4 is in the bottom right corner. That one just off the outside edge, but that 4th pitch, definitely like to get that call.
So a 2-out walk brings up the catcher, Tom Murphy. Got him at first base. Morton almost got Story, and Garrett Hampson has been had. That'll retire the side.
Last night with really his biggest hit other than his first major league hit yesterday, the 2-run triple in extra innings. Dugout goes absolutely crazy, and they're trying to get a reaction out of him. Check out Altuve and Verlander. Show us something. Kyle Tucker, one of the more quieter guys on this team. He is new. He is getting more comfortable. Watch it. Watch Tucker. He gave him something. Josh Reddick last night said, you know, we got a little excitement, but we could have used more from him on third base last night. But Kyle said, you know, that hit to extend the lead was huge for his confidence, but to see the dugout like that going nuts was so great. And he feels much better coming to the ballpark today after such a big hit off the bench last night. Kevin.
That was awesome. That was the way I had not seen the fact that he gave him that look there the last second. Yeah, but Tucker really smoked that ball last night. 2-run triple, part of that 6-run 10th inning for the Astros. Trail 1-0 here after a Carlos Gonzalez solo home run in the second. 2 balls and no strikes. Well, Tucker hitting just 162. It was his first career triple last night. He's got a double and a triple.
He might get a first right here.
Would love to see that.
Tried.
2-1.
And I like it. 2-0 count, fresh off a solid pinch hit AB. Just beat him a little bit down with that sinker.
Two and two. Tucker, the youngest player in the American League. How's that for a first round in 2015 that produces Alex Bregman and Kyle Tucker? 3 and 2. Not a bad haul.
Well, we saw a flash last night from Kyle Tucker with that triple. But Alex Bregman has definitely lived up to that first pick for the Houston Astros in that 2015 draft. All-star here in 2018.
Beat him upstairs, and there's one away. Well, Josh Reddick talked about it after the game. Loosen Kyle Tucker up just a little bit.
Off the bench, you know. Haven't seen him do anything too crazy yet like we have in spring training, so that was good to see him kind of come out and do that and get a little bit excited. We could have used a little bit more emotion on third base from him, but but he's good. He's coming around, and he's great at bats. And then George, you know, after looking a little bit foolish on one pitch, comes back and stays back and puts a good swing on the ball. And you know, that's just one thing we do really well is if we can tack on runs, we can do them real quick.
Max Stassi takes ball 1. He was quite stoic there at third base. But loud with the bat. Stassi, a 250 hitter, shoots that one right back up the middle. Played perfectly, and Hampson will throw him out. There's 2 away.
A couple of shifts early in the game have helped out John Gray and his Rocky defense behind him. Balls hit hard, but right at some guys.
Charlie Morton spent a lot of time with the bat in his hand. He's a Pittsburgh Pirate. 1-0. Garrett Cole had some good cuts last night. Just missed on a couple, found a couple back.
If by just missed, you mean putting it in play?
Yes. On the right side. Into the seats. Charlie's not sure if he broke that bat or not. Tapped it a couple of different times.
Tell you what, hitting it off the end of the bat will make you wonder if you did break it because your hands will be stinging.
Two balls and 2 strikes.
There's a big league 2-strike take.
Just spit on that pitch. Astros 31 games over 500. There's a swing and a miss, and that'll retire the side. Middle of the third, Rockies lead 1-0.
On the field during the home run derby, and then they were able to go in the clubhouse a little bit. And my whole family was able to be there, both sides of the family, so it was an awesome experience.
3 little ones and 1 on the way for Charlie and Cindy Morton, but they all got to experience Charlie's first ever All-Star game. It's one of the greatest stories from 2017, guys, and it's definitely carried over. The 11-year veteran was announced as an injury replacement, and A.J. Hinch made sure to get him in that game, but also made sure to point him out and some of those other guys who've spent a lot of time in this league, who've been around a lot of years, and finally getting the opportunity. Charlie said over and over, I could feel myself getting towards the end of my career. Not done yet, but you know you're running out of opportunities to make an all-star team. So it was something he will never forget, and really happy for him and his family as they were all able to share that together in Washington, D.C. Kevin.
You know, interesting, I was talking to an Astros fan. They said they saw Charlie Morton the day of Game 7 in Los Angeles, walking down the street, walking down the sidewalk, holding his little girl's hand. They were out for an afternoon stroll.
Charlie is definitely a human before he's a baseball player.
He really is.
But he's great. How about him? He's a basket of emotions too, isn't he?
Steady as she goes. That is for sure. Tom Murphy was up to bat whenever Charlie Morton was able to pick off Garrett Hampson at first base. That, by the way, the 3rd time we have seen a base runner picked off in this 2-game series.
Must be tough to see the pitcher from first base here.
Yeah, you would think that the guy with the baseball in his hand would deserve a lot of attention. And remember, Charlie almost got Trevor's story right before that. Getting back for that home run he gave up in the All-Star game.
Trying. Should have just hit him. I'm kidding.
I know.
Gosh.
1-2. I didn't even flinch.
You know me too well.
I know you too well. I knew you were kidding.
You're on to my argle-bargle commentary.
Yes, he went. Fans didn't like it. But a good place for an appeal. And Charlie Morton picks up his 2nd strikeout of the game. Did he?
I don't know. On our Supermo, you can judge at home. I think that's a good call. Barrel getting out in front of home plate. That's usually what I'm trying to key on. Seemed a little overcommitted.
Jordan Baker thought he did. He's the only one really that gets a vote there. I don't know what the weather's going to do, but it does not look good.
It is kind of menacing out over that center field wall, isn't it?
I'm not sure if that does it justice.
I can make up another word.
2-0. Ominous.
That's a good one.
Your turn.
Malevolent. Does that work for weather?
I don't think so. I'm sure people on Twitter know.
They're going to let me know.
2 balls and 1 strike.
Maybe once it gets here. And it's dropped about 10 degrees. Too.
Exactly. It is. Pull out the jacket.
All we got to worry about is Julia okay and have her promos blown away yet.
I don't think so.
I see her scrambling. She's scrambling down there.
That's impressive. I was expected to turn around. You'd be up here in the booth.
Oh my goodness.
There's the punch out.
Holding strong.
Woo. Don't be a hero.
Yeah, we don't need that. We need to make sure that you get back to Houston with us.
The notes are gone. No more game notes. Who knows?
The stories are, hold on to the stories.
Yeah.
You go flying across the infield.
Was that lightning or did someone take a picture? What's going on out here?
I think it was the scoreboard.
It's the ribbon board that goes around, yeah.
She's in full panic.
I saw that a couple of times too. Charlie Blackmon grounded out his first time up. Rockies lead at 1-0. Carlos Gonzalez solo home run. Ball and 1 strike.
Is that breaking ball wind dated? It's kind of like a golf shot. Fire it out to the right. Just have it bend back over the plate. That was a pretty filthy movement on that pitch.
Foul down the left side. Blackman has hit in 14 of his last 16 games, and he's done so at a .368 clip. Rockies have played really good baseball. In fact, the fact that the Astros won this series last night, this will be the first series since late June that the Rockies have not won. They salvage a split tonight. These two teams will meet in a couple of weeks in mid-August at Minute Maid Park in a 2-game series. Wow.
Just a spot by a good ways, but still managed to get an edge.
Three and two. Just struck out the first two Rockies he's faced here in this third. Charlie Blackman trying to beat the weather. Wind is kicked up. It's dropped, has to have dropped 10 degrees. And that hits Blackman.
Not uncommon with Charlie Morton out on the mound to hit a left-handed batter. And it's usually with that curveball. This one creates a lot of spin, but starting inside gets that inside left knee of Charlie Blackman. That is the 11th hit by pitch for Charlie Morton.
That one game against the Texas Rangers when he really had trouble. I think he had, 4 Rangers in that game. Watch the Astros your way by downloading the AT&T Sportsnet app from iTunes or Google Play, or visit attsportsnet.com to stream on your computer. Log in with your cable account, and you're all set. Available for those with AT&T Sportsnet in their TV subscription. Blackout and territorial restrictions apply. So a 2-out base runner after Charlie Blackman is hit on the inside of that left knee, brings up Ian Desmond.
Foreboding is a good word.
It is a good word.
I told you it was.
I was just agreeing with you. I know how you long for affirmation.
Reassurance.
Yes.
Yeah, that affirmation. Gosh darn it. I'm good enough.
Another appeal at first base and another strike. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Might be fooling the Colorado Rocky hitters a little bit, because usually when teams come in here and pitchers that have good breaking balls, they kind of flatten out a little bit, but Charlie's still able to hold on to Uncle Charlie and create good spin.
Two and 1.
The Rockies versus pitches. Fastball, they're 19th, but they've been very good on the off speed, and that's something that A.J. Hinch talked about in setting up the rotation in the second half. Having Garrett Cole and Charlie Morton pitching against these guys is get the fastball going against these guys.
Saw that one off. Altuve runs it down, won't be able to make the play. There's runners at first and second with 2 outs.
That bat goes down a hero.
Yes, it did.
A little bit of a slider this time off the end of the bat of Ian Desmond, but places it nicely on the right side with the Astros playing in that pull shift. Altuve would have been hard pressed to make that play at first base anyways.
But after 2 strikeouts to start this inning, a hit by pitch and a blown up bat that turns into a infield single. That'll bring up Nolan Arenado. Grounded out to shortstop in his first at bat. Well, you talk about the bite of the curveball from Charlie Morton. As he goes with a 96-mile-an-hour fastball. The fastball averaging right at 96 miles per hour this season, 95.9. That's 4th among major league starters. Severino, Boltonevich, and Garrett Cole. The only ones that throw harder than Charlie Morton.
4 career starts at Coors Field for Charlie. Throwing that fastball 66% of the time. You see going to the curve and split. But the average against that fastball at 333. That was at 92 with a little bit of sink and run on the arm side. A little bit different nowadays facing Charlie Morton, who's averaging close to 95 miles an hour. 96 miles an hour, I apologize.
the curveball usage tonight, he's thrown only 9 curveballs tonight. Opponent's hitting a $127 off his curveball.
That curveball has really, I mean, as good as the fastball has been, to have that curveball back it up, I mean, that was 1-2 pitch dominance for Charlie Morton. And coming over here working with Strami, saying that fastball, that four-seam fastball in the zone elevated, sets up that curveball that much better.
The 2-2. Count goes full. A.J. Hinch's team has won 7 straight over the Colorado Rockies. That is the longest winning streak against Colorado in Astros history. This team's meeting in this series first time since 2015. Long run for Reddick, and that'll make the seats.
But Garrett Cole last night in his 6 innings and a third pitched, he got heavy on the fastball. 75% of the time going after that heater. We saw a lot of them up in the zone, also led to a lot of those strikeouts. He had 9 last night. We saw the occasional slider, but basically that first time through the lineup, when he no-hit them for a little while, was just primarily fastball. We saw 1 or 2 curveballs in the first time through the order.
The 3-2. There's the curveball and a check swing bouncer. Really will take it to the bag, and that'll retire the side. Into the 3rd inning. Rockies lead 1-0.
Fans have the option to customize a brick with a personal message that will line Champions Walkway at Minute Maid Park. For details, visit astros.com/bricks today.
Perfect through the order. 9 up and 9 down for John Gray. Faces George Springer to lead off in the 4th.
Julia could use a couple of those bricks to hold down the paperwork down there.
Still hanging in? She is.
Barely.
Swing and a miss.
No, I
It's got cool, hadn't it?
They've allowed me in the corner of the dugout,
Oh, that's good.
so I'm ready for whatever's about to happen.
There you go.
Taking cover.
Hunkered down.
Yeah.
Need the jacket right now, too.
It is chilly.
It is. People at home are thinking,
The
it is chilly.
the Astros fans behind me were like, it's getting too cold. They didn't bring any jackets, of course. Just hang in there, everyone.
No balls and 2 strikes for George Springer. Springer really picked it up after the All-Star break. We're hoping a couple of hits in that All-Star game would get him going into the second half, and it certainly has. Hit that home run last night. A couple runs scored, drove in a couple. 5 for 15, 333 since the All-Star game. Also a couple of home runs, including the grand slam in Anaheim on Saturday. Strike 3 called. What do you got, Julia?
No Player Does More is presented by HEB. We're talking Alex Bregman, who's been hot really since the beginning of June. Got the Player of the Month award there. But if you look at what he's done since June 25th, that is a big date for these Houston Astros as they lost Carlos Correa then, out with back soreness. Losing a bat like that in the middle of the order, you think would be tough, but that's where Alex Bregman has really come in and done some damage at the 356 average, the 9 homers, and the 1,200 OPS in his absence. What was impressive that he's continued to do what he did over the month of June. So it's really picking up this Astros club, and also on Carlos Correa, he's hitting off a tee, feels pretty good, still progressing. We'll know more once we get back to Houston. We'll see him then.
He is the only Astro hitting over 300 since Correa went out. On May 1st, Bregman was hitting 250 with 1 home run. On June 1st, he was hitting 260 with 5 home runs. He's been on a roll since then. Steps in now, hitting in the mid-280s with 21 homers.
It's one thing to go out there and get hits, you know, an Altuve type month where you just start racking up hits and the average jumps, but the 1,200 OPS, that tells you he's getting on base, the average is up, and he's doing all kinds of damage like Julia's talking about. He has been a doubles machine the entire season, but now adding the home run totals to it.
Hit his 21st home run and his 33rd double last night. His recognition of the strike zone for a guy with his amount of experience in the big leagues is really off the charts.
Well, I think it's the mentality getting it in the box, knowing that he's not just trying to get a hit, he's trying to hammer a baseball. And if you're looking to hammer, you're going to lay off some pitches on the edges that you don't feel you can get to. He's got 55 extra base hits.
Takes the walk. First base runner of the game for the Astros.
You get one of your superstars to go on the DL like a Carlos Correa, you're going to need some guys to step up a little bit. And then you have guys like Alex Bregman step up in a big way. Before Correa, 263, putting up some decent numbers, 12 home runs. But since then, 356 average, and that's that OPS that I keep chattering about. The 1225, that means he is going out there and smashing some pitches.
As I said, the only Astro during that span over 300. Altuve's actually been human during that time, getting about 270. There goes Bregman. Started the runner and it's fouled away. Altuve still leads the major leagues in hits, second in the AL at that 329 batting average. Bregman at first, he walked. That's the first base runner of the night for the Astros. Altuve, a 300 hitter in this ballpark. Should come as no surprise. Looks that one down the right field side into the seats. Seems like every time you look at the numbers of Altuve, particularly against an American League West club, he's hit 350, it seems like, against everyone. Seems like he hits 350 in every visiting stadium.
Yeah, they love having him in the West.
Best road hitter in baseball.
StatCast AI, powered by AWS, is giving you spray chart on Jose Altuve. Does a pretty good job of spraying the baseball all over the place, but pretty much to the middle and pull side.
That average on the road, 356. Almost got him. Ball and 2 strikes. With 2 for 5 last night. Those 2 hits, now up to 133 for the season. Bregman goes. That ball hit into right field. It'll go all the way to the wall. Bregman around third. He'll score easily as Jose Altuve cruises into second base with an RBI double. His 23rd two-base hit of the season.
Good piece of hitting. They want to go inside, they do, but how about the ability of Jose Altuve to stay inside that pitch running down and in? With authority too. Puts a good charge into it, getting it all the way to that right center field wall. Astros on the board.
Bregman easily scoring from first base as they started the runner. Yuli Gurriel to the right side. Desmond can't field it. And the Astros have runners on the corners. Ian Desmond did not realize that ball popped out of his glove.
Yeah, he thought he caught it. Inside outing this one too, and on the short hop, Ian Desmond thought he had it. That's sometimes the issue when you go running around first base with that big old floppy mitt. You feel it hit the glove, but it's not necessarily inside of it. Astros do a pretty good job of taking advantage of mistakes. Will they be able to take advantage of that one?
You know, George Springer hit a routine ground ball right at Trevor Story last night to lead off the game. Story could not handle it. And then the next batter, Bregman, hit a 2-run home run. Runners at the corners for Josh Reddick. Strike 1. Altuve an RBI double. Ties this game at 1. Yuli reaching on an E3. We talked about it right off the beginning as John Gray, how he's able to handle adversity. Now you give up a walk, an RBI double, and then a play that should have been made by your first baseman, and now you got runners at the corners. See how he reacts. Reddick had the big hit in last night's game, the single to center that got by Charlie Blackmon. That led off the 10th inning. The 10th inning that saw the Astros score 6 times and win the game 8-2. Two balls and 2 strikes. Blocked by Murphy. With 2 strikes. Arenado playing a little bit further back on the dirt. You can hear the chants of "Let's go Astros" here at Coors Field.
People at home that are listening to the game have been tweeting in, talking about it too.
Off the glove. And everybody is safe. Now they're going to say it is catcher's interference. That ball went off of John Gray's glove, so the catcher's interference. Reddick will be awarded first base, and Altuve will go back to third.
I thought Josh should have been hustling on that play, maybe gets to first base, because with the interference, if it's just a dead ball, runners all have to go back. It was kind of a late call by Jerry Lane.
But clearly got it.
Yeah, Josh Reddick is notorious for the catcher's interference. And if you're scoring at home, you can either put CI or you can put E2.
Or both.
Doesn't count against Josh Reddick's plate appearance.
It is an error charged to the catcher, Tom Murphy. So now the bases are loaded.
Well, and this is a test for John Gray.
Marwin takes ball 1. Marwin flied out to left in the second inning.
Gray in the past has had a tendency of letting these situations get to him a little bit. See if Marwin can capitalize. Again, another mistake, and the Astros have done a good job this season and last season of taking advantage of extra outs.
Marwin hits this one on the left side. Desmond again can't handle it, but takes it to first base, and that'll score the run. So an RBI by Marwin Gonzalez, and the Astros take a 2-1 lead.
I don't even think Ian Desmond got a glove on that ball. Should be a pretty good look at it. Hit hard, kind of an in-between hop, and it hits Ian Desmond right in the right knee. But he's able to recover and make the play. Might have had the potential to turn a double play and get out of it, but with him unable to get that double play, it leads to a run and another opportunity with 2 runners on for Kyle Tucker.
So now Tucker bats with runners at second and third. Not been a good inning for Ian Desmond.
Yeah, he's feeling like he's getting picked on right now.
No balls and 1 strike. Astros with 2 runs in the 4th, leading at 2-1. Tucker. That'll retire the side. Hit it hard, but right at the shift. Astros take a 2-1 lead.
Things off. A good friend of Jose Altuve. They've actually known a lot about each other before they met, as they're both from Venezuela. Cargo says Altuve's always been the little guy that can hit for as long as I can remember and as long as I've heard about him. But they're so close, guys, that after the ALCS, when the Astros beat the Yankees, Altuve made a phone call to Carlos Gonzalez and asked him, I need the scouting report on the Dodgers. What do you got? And so they spent a lot of time together. Cargo says, I'm all in. I'm watching you. I'm cheering you on, and helped him out with a scouting report on the Los Angeles Dodgers, a team he faces quite often, guys.
Venezuelan countrymen sticking together. Still one of the best things, Julia, that you had a chance to do. One of the more entertaining things that I liked was Miggy Cabrera was sitting down with Jose Altuve. I thought that was just absolutely fantastic. Another Venezuelan. Another guy who can hit.
It's one of my favorite interviews I've ever done.
When he talked about Jose calling him saying I'm really struggling, he says I pull out the computer and he's hitting 340.
Yeah, it's messed up.
What do you mean you're struggling? Carlos Gonzalez with that big fly, big home run in the second inning. That's the one run tonight for the Rockies. This one to center field. George Springer is there. It's one away.
Those players out of Venezuela can hit, man. Those are good stories, and they are a very tight-knit group. A lot going on back in their home country that they pay attention, trying to help out their family and friends back home. But there's a strong bond between those guys. They're also highly entertaining. Guy on deck, Gerardo Parra. A lot of people last night were concerned with Parra maybe staring down Jose Altuve, but that had nothing to do with it. They were just having a good time messing around with each other on the field.
Yeah, you know, Gerardo Parra also long history with A.J. Hinch as well. Brought him to the big leagues. A.J. was the manager of the Arizona Diamondbacks. Here's Trevor Story. Story who homered in the All-Star game off of Charlie Morton. Sends this one right at Marwin. A good play by Marwin Gonzalez. There's two away. Come out to Minute Maid Park this Friday night to see the best fireworks show in town. This week's Friday Night Fireworks presented by Occidental Petroleum will be synced to music voted for by Astros fans. Visit astros.com/Friday nights for tickets. There is Gerardo Parra. You know, another one of those Venezuelan-born players with Rocky ties, Andres Galarraga.
Yeah, he could hit too.
He could hit a little bit.
Man.
Did a lot of that hitting, not only as a Montreal Expo, but here as a Colorado Rocky.
Big cat.
Parra struck out his first at bat in the second inning. Astros getting a couple of runs on just one hit in the top of the fourth inning. Lead it 2-1. A.J. Hinch's team has been opportunistic to say the least. Door opened a little bit last night in that 10th inning. At Bregman. That'll retire the side. We go to the fifth, 2-1 Houston. Buy rooms to go. Shop now and save big during the huge summer sale and clearance event. Buy Jack in the Box. Try the $4.99 Jack's Spicy Chicken Club Combo with toasted sourdough. And by Nissan, innovation that excites. Charlie Morton,
Making
always
plays.
the good citizen.
Priorities are in line.
Max Stassi leads off in the fifth. Max hit a ball hard up the middle. A 1-4-3 put out in his first at bat. Oh, you talk about a pleasant evening. It has turned out to be 73 degrees.
Freezing in here.
Right, it really is a little chilly. All the people from Colorado in the booth are laughing at us.
Because they have jackets on.
Trevor Story. One away. Charlie Morton struck out. Back in the third inning. Steps in for the second time. A huge Astros contingent on hand here in Denver for both of these two games in this two-game series. Astros will come home this weekend. Quick stop in town for a three-game series to say goodbye to the Texas Rangers for 2018. And it is back out on the road again. Big series coming up at Safeco Field in Seattle. It is on to LA, back to the West Coast again, the Los Angeles area, to take on the Dodgers this time, more interleague play, and the San Francisco Giants. Foul back 0-2. Two outs.
We've got a power player. It's presented to you by TXU Energy. George Springer. Since the All-Star break, 2 home runs, 8 RBIs, 5 runs scored, leads the team in all of those categories. Real catalyst at the top part of that lineup for A.J. Hinch, and he got in on the action last night. One-handing one out of here.
They're struggling so much going into the break. You know it had to make him feel good. And if you were listening closely to the telecast of the All-Star game, he got to first base after that single. He said, why can't I do that in the regular season? He has carried it over and some. The ball got out of here last night in a hurry, a line drive. Wade Davis really struggled out of that bullpen for the Colorado Rockies. But that has been more the rule rather than the exception this season as far as the Rockies bullpen struggling. It's a foul ball.
Barely. Good job by Tom Murphy trying to steal one.
One-two pitch. Back up the middle. Scoop and spin, and what a throw. What a play by Trevor Story. Even George Springer can appreciate that one.
Not easy to do, ranging far to your left, spin and fire. Get a speedy George Springer, heck of a play.
One hit in this game. J.D. Davis comes in to play third. Now Jose Altuve has left this game, so Marwin moves from third to second base, and Alex Bregman moves from third to short. Right back up the middle. Charlie Morton says, "I've got this." There's one away. One pitch and one out.
Charlie heavy on that four-seam fastball, mixing in a couple of two-seam fastballs, getting in on right-handed hitters, and showing a pretty good mix of curveball getting in there too.
We did not see anything from Jose Altuve. You saw him talking with A.J. Hinch just a moment ago.
Hopefully nothing serious, but on the double to that right center field gap, he didn't pull up, but he was not going aggressively into second base. But him being on the bench and having a conversation gives you an idea that he might be okay. Just something temporary. You get in this thin air up here, things start cramping up.
Hit to left, and that is a fair ball. Murphy will head to second base with a double. So a one-out double for Tom Murphy, his seventh. And a runner in scoring position for the pitcher, John Gray.
It's that two-seam fastball, blows him up, breaks the bat, but Murphy does a good job of fighting it off. That's another thing here. We talk about the thin air and the baseball, kind of a little bit of hang time staying out there. It also will straighten out the ball flight. It won't hook, which is good for my golf game too.
I heard stories about your golf game here in Colorado.
It's legendary at this elevation.
Well, the word coming out, right knee discomfort for Jose Altuve. The most promising thing out of all of it is the fact that he's sitting on the bench. This one hit on the right side. And Marwin will throw him out, so the runner moves over. And Charlie Blackmon will come up with a runner at third base. 2 outs here in this 5th inning. Yeah, when the ball was hit where he was, it's a sure double, obviously, for Jose Altuve, but you're thinking 3-base hit to right center field like that.
Well, normally Altuve hustling, it's an easy triple. But if he's uncomfortable, he's not going to push it. No reason to force it. He's a guy that if he's able to go out there and give you a hard 9 innings, he's going to do it.
Blackmon's 0 for 1. He was hit by a pitch in the 3rd inning. That time the pitch hit his bat. .286 hitter for Blackmon. Started the beard in 2014, came to the big leagues, some good things happened. Thought, why not? Don't mess with success. I don't know if you've heard this, but baseball players can be a little superstitious.
Yeah, you're sacrificing a lot for success.
Started there in 2011, 2014, and so on and so on.
Yeah, that 2014 kind of clean cut, almost looks photoshopped, and then just jailbreak as far as facial hair and hair off the back is concerned. Good grief. He's got a full beard in front and a neck beard in back.
He could shave and walk into a Colorado Rockies fan function and no one would know who he was.
Very true. Great play by Stassi, by the way, keeping that runner at third base, helping out Charlie on another off-speed pitch that he spiked.
Two pitch, Charlie to Charlie. didn't miss by much.
Yeah, he wanted that one breaking ball coming back over the outside corner. I just don't feel it got back there enough. MD Anderson strike zone's going to let us know. Ooh, very close.
Three-two. Ball four. Two-out walk and runners at the corners for Ian Desmond. Second walk of the game by Charlie Morton. Charlie's also hit a batter. No, the 4 hits that Charlie's given up tonight, 2 of them have been broken bat singles. One of them was Ian Desmond, who absolutely got blown up. A ball that just floated into right field, shallow right. Good pitch down.
It's that two-seam fastball, creates a little more of that downward run and arm side run into right-handed hitters. He'll go to that four-seamer when he's trying to get on that outside corner or elevate in the zone.
You think the four-seam is particularly effective here, the fact that it really can jump on a hitter at altitude. If you're thinking about,
well, we talk about planing out and baseball writing, and it's that four-seam release that creates that a little more drastic here.
Marwin will take the short route, and that'll end the 5th inning. The Astros on top, 2-1.
Nolan Arenado's a good one. So good that he's tied 3rd all time with Brooks Robinson.
Pretty good glove work there.
Yeah, sometimes I catch myself just watching some of the video to see how these guys actually complete some of these plays. Just remarkable how athletic they are, because typically over the years you just assume that a third baseman is just a large guy that sits over there, knocks it down and throws them out. But these guys are incredibly athletic and have a ton of range, which is also, you also have to have a very good arm to launch that baseball across the diamond.
One of the things really look forward to coming here was seeing Nolan Arenado play third base. He's had one opportunity here in this series, and that was a ground ball routine ground ball he fielded by Jose Altuve. Speaking of good third baseman, Alex Bregman walked and scored in the 4th inning.
He is very good. He's turned himself into a great third baseman.
He's moved over to short with Altuve leaving the game. Started tonight at third base. Three balls and no strikes. Altuve out with right knee discomfort after he had a ball in the gap. Got the Astros on the board. And cruised into second base. He's out of this one tonight. Day off tomorrow for the Astros.
You kidding me? Tomorrow's a sleep day.
Ball hit deep to left, going back at the wall. And it's off the wall. Bregman will turn second, heading for third, and he's in with a sliding triple.
And the greatest play we've seen Arenado make in this series was on the throw from Parra. Kept that ball from getting past third base and possibly going into the Astros dugout. But how about that? Another extra base hit for Alex Bregman.
Second triple of the season and just missed his 22nd home run. That ball hit Parra.
Ouch.
Came off the wall and then hit him.
Parra thought he had a beat on it. That might have tipped off the glove of the Astro fan that reached over the wall. I think that's why Bud Black is now coming out of the dugout. Parra may have been able to make that play. This will be interesting.
I think you may be right.
Because it didn't seem to hit off the wall, because the way it ricocheted off Parra looked like it hit him in the head. Bud Black, a true West Coaster with the full jacket on.
Jerry Lane, the crew chief, the home plate umpire. Did he reach over? Did he reach into the field of play? Can't really tell. Maybe here.
The glove is clearly in play.
You can't tell.
Whether or not it hit the glove is the question. But right now,
I like the way he sat down real quick to act like nothing happened.
Nothing to see here. But Bud Black is holding court with all four umpires. Bud Black, I wondered, it'll be interesting to hear his post-game comments depending on how this game unfolds, but his notorious comment when things don't go right or crazy plays happen in baseball.
Channels his inner Craig Biggio.
Yep, that's baseball. They're going to the headset.
We'll take another look. And a much closer look.
This should be a pretty good angle right here. Reaching onto the field, yes. Definitely hits the glove.
Definitely did.
Man.
Well, for the ball to hit Parra like it did, you had the feeling it had to have changed trajectory.
Yeah, because it definitely shocked him.
And all the fans seeing that angle here in the ballpark that you saw just a moment ago. Didn't take long.
No, that one last angle that we saw, definitive. Fan interference,
and he's out.
Man. A.J. Hinch is going to come out and talk to Jerry Lane, and how do you assume the catch up against the wall? That would have been a tough play, but it definitely looked like Parra had a beat on it. But because that fan reached over, that is why the out is called. Clear as day on that replay.
Yeah, it's clear he touched it. I'm not sure Parra makes that catch.
That's what's tough to assume, but you don't know. That's why you shouldn't interfere at all.
So what turned, it looked like a triple, turns into just an interesting out. J.D. Davis gets his first hacks of the game. Fan making his way out. The Astro fans giving him the high fives. I think the Rocky fans should be giving him the high fives.
Yeah, he probably made more Rocky fans than Astro fans right now.
J.D. Davis batting for Jose Altuve. Davis started a couple of days ago in Anaheim. Hadn't seen that one in a while. The fan interference? No. At least not where it was called an out. See it on doubles that go down the line. And skip up against the seats.
Yeah, you see it more in the foul territory parts.
J.D. Davis up the middle. There's 2 away. So here's Yuli Gurriel. John Gray has settled in. He's tired of the last 7 Astros he's faced after a shaky 4th inning. And it wasn't shaky by his standards, it was shaky by his teammates. Desmond, a couple of balls that he should have fielded, wasn't able to make those plays. Really reached on one of those errors by Ian Desmond. Reached on an E3. He was stranded at 3rd in the 4th inning. By the way, ground ball here at 3rd. I'll finish the story in just a moment. How to retire the side. Middle of the 6th. 2-1 Houston. Learn more at RBIGame.com. Rated E for everyone. Welcome you back here to Coors Field. University of Houston being represented here tonight. 75 members of the Alumni Association on hand.
It's kind of cool.
That's
Cougs.
Got some ties to the Denver area. Of course, Wade Phillips, defensive coordinator, back with the Denver Broncos when they won the Super Bowl. That's the University of Houston Cougar. Also Case Keenum, the starting quarterback for the Broncos. Ball's outside. Nolan Arenado leading off here in the 6th inning. You know, Daniel Ponce de Leon, who made that start on Sunday with 7 no-hit innings for the St. Louis Cardinals in his major league debut. He pitched at the University of Houston.
It's a solid first outing.
That's a great story too. I mean, this is a kid that got hit, but the line drive back in the minor leagues. 14 months later, makes his major league debut. And Todd Whitting does an outstanding job with that baseball program over there on Cullen Boulevard. Arenado 0 for 2 as Charlie Morton works in the 6th.
I need to to be better at that and go catch some of those University of Houston baseball games.
College baseball's fun. You know that.
Well, and there's an investment over there at Rice University with the Cruz family still being there too.
Got good college baseball in the city of Houston.
It'll be fun to get out there and watch, be seen, and see those kids.
U of H winners of the American Athletic Conference last couple of years. Of course, Rice's success goes without saying. College World Series title a couple decades back.
I actually missed the college classic at Minute Maid Park the last couple of years because of spring training games. That'd be a fun one to stay behind and go watch. Usually have some pretty good ball clubs roll through there.
It's good college baseball. Carlos Gonzalez swinging a miss. Cargo got into one in the second inning, hit one into the bullpen in right center field. It's been the Rockies' offense tonight. One and one. See Charlie kind of change a little bit from the first time through, and now you're getting into that third time through the order. Anything you've seen so far?
Not really. I was actually surprised to see him go to that breaking ball so early. That was a good one that came back on the plate. Because I was kind of assuming that he would go out there much like Garrett Cole the first time through the order and just show the fastball and see if they can catch up to it. But he's throwing a couple more two-seamers than I thought too.
You got to watch Jerry Lane closely. He's not exactly
Stay with him.
demonstrative. Yes. Good pitch. Got him on the curveball.
It is time to play Name That Astro, brought to you by Nissan. Slidell, drafted by Rockies and All-Star. Those are your three clues for the Name That Astro, brought to you by Nissan. If you know who it is, make sure you tweet it at ATT Sportsnet SW, and make sure you stay tuned also later in the game when we reveal who that Astro is.
Is that in Louisiana? Slidell?
Sure.
You don't know.
I don't. I'm just glad I didn't say Slittle.
I may have been obligated to call you out.
There's a curveball release on the strikeout of Carlos Gonzalez, and that is tremendous break here in the thin air of Denver.
Trevor Story singled his first at bat. That was in the second inning. Hit a line drive right at the shortstop. He's 1 for 2. National League Player of the Week, Trevor Story. In some kind of role. Had his 13-game hitting streak end last night. Before that, the last couple of weeks, he's been the best hitter in baseball.
Not a bad pitch.
Not at all.
It locked up everybody at home plate. Sometimes you can even fool the umpire. Trevor Story didn't know what to do with that one, just on that outside edge. It's actually a pretty perfectly located curveball.
Well received by Stassi, too.
Yep. Stassi's done a very good job of that.
3-1. Count goes full. Good economy of pitches tonight, too, by Charlie Morton. Still under 90 pitches here with 2 outs in the 6th. Didn't quite get the curveball to come back over the plate. He issues the walk. Third walk of the night issued by Charlie. Brings up Gerardo Parra. Parra 0 for 2.
upstairs. Well, AJ speaking about Parra before tonight's game. He's a lot of smiles on the face, and then you go out and see them have an embrace, and you can tell these are two guys with a lot of respect, really like each other. Talked about Parra when he was a minor leaguer. He was going to do things his way.
That's a good way of explaining Gerardo Parra.
Brought him to the major leagues as an Arizona Diamondback. Of course, A.J. Hinch was the manager at that time.
So I come out of the dugout yesterday before batting practice, and Vinny Castilla's behind the cage. He comes over, we embrace, played with him in San Diego, got to know him pretty good. And then Gerardo Parra comes over, and I start talking to him. I'm like, hey man, you moved from right field to left field. I go, is your arm strength, you losing your arm strength? And he starts laughing. He goes, no, Poppy. He goes, more area out here for me to cover. And I said, okay. And I go, I remember I was with you in 2011 when you won that gold glove. Vinny Castilla, without missing a beat, starts laughing at him. And he goes, are you kidding me? You played 80 games in the outfield and won a gold glove? And Gerardo Parra's like, that's right, Poppy. That's how good I was.
That's right. I was so good. They didn't need to see me for 150 games.
But he must have thrown out about 20 guys that season. It seemed like every chance he had, he was unleashing that left arm to gun somebody down.
Reaching down to unleash that pad on his right leg there. It says, nope, stay here, Jerry Lane. Ball 4. That was interesting with Max Stassi, how he had to react to that, because with the shift and the runner going, he had to make sure that Trevor Story was not going to turn second base and head for third and try to race J.D. Davis to the bag. Now
J.D. Davis having to react, you're right. There was a lot going on right there.
So Brent Strom coming out, talking it over with Charlie Morton. Do you know how much in the organization they get guys used to shifting in the minor leagues? Just because it's a different dynamic from that standpoint. Just something just like that. You got a runner going on a 3-2 pitch with 2 outs, and you got a third baseman playing basically where the shortstop is. If you got a guy that can fly, he turns second base. It's a
well,
foot
it's funny
race
that, what was it, about 2013-14 when teams really started to shift a lot. You saw that frequently, where teams would purposely steal, forcing the third baseman to cover, and that guy would steal second base, pop up, and go all the way to third base. So there were some adjustments early on with some of the coverages when the shift was on.
And you'll see the Astros work on that in spring training a lot.
You actually, I mean, not that play that you're talking about, Kevin, but you'll see that Astros, almost every game at home except for day games, they will go out and take ground balls, and they will take ground balls in their shifted positions.
Garrett Hampson bats with 2 runners on as Morton has walked Trevor Story and Gerardo Parra back to back. This one down the right field side, and it's foul. That could have been big trouble.
It was a long way for Josh to get there if that sneaks inside the line. 2 runners possibly scoring.
Hampson, a college shortstop at Long Beach State. They are famous for producing those guys that can pick it.
Dirtbags.
Troy Tulowitzki was a pretty good one from Long Beach State that played here for a long time.
That's all I remember. Every time we came through here as a San Diego Padre was that too low. They did that every time he came to the plate. And he ended up hitting one about 60 rows deep.
Ball gets by. Runners at second and third as they move up.
Much that Stassi could do with that one.
After the wild pitch, Charlie Morton trying to get it back together. A 2-1 pitch here as he wants to reset the signs. That was by Charlie Morton standards, that was a demonstrative conversation.
Yeah.
Two balls, one strike. Garrett Hampson, the batter, with runners at second and third. 2-2.
Hampson is not taking comfortable swings on that fastball from Charlie Morton. That's the hard part about playing here at Coors Field also, is the fact that knowing that the ball travels, sometimes, most of the time, your outfield defense will play a little bit deeper. Therefore, some of those baseballs that aren't hit as hard fall in front of them.
Morton getting ready to deliver his 100th pitch of the night. Cruise through the first two batters. Stassi gives it a look. It'll make the seats.
Well, off the edge of the plate. Hampson going well off the plate to try and defend this. Almost pops out to the catcher.
But Morton got Arenado and Gonzalez to start the sixth, but then walked Trevor Story, walked Gerardo Parra. They moved up on a wild pitch. Here's the 2-2. On the ground on the left side, and that ball is a foul ball.
Man, there was a lot going on. Bodies everywhere.
A lot of moving parts there. J.D. Davis had a decision to make and didn't have much time to make it in.
Base runner at third base, third baseman coming in. J.D. Davis decided to let it go past and just barely inches by third base. Vic Carapazza all over it.
Whew. A game of inches. Two pitch. Struck him out. Charlie Morton ends the sixth with runners at second and third. We go to the seventh. 2-1 Houston.
For Marwin Gonzalez down there. Oddly enough, he has taken the pine tar off it, but our Shiner sea salt and lime spotlight falls on a momentous day. That was a home run by George Bredoff. Goose Gossage, Tim McClellan, the home plate umpire, calls the other umpires in after Billy Martin arguing that the pine tar might be a little above the label.
18 inches.
And he is called out. That ended the game. How do you think George felt about it? He took a quick trip to Snapville.
It was 35 years ago yesterday. And starting pitcher that day, Bud Black.
How crazy is that?
I don't think he got asked about that at all yesterday. By the way, temperature has dropped 13 degrees
in the last 2 innings.
It is 60 degrees here in Denver. Reddick into the seats. It's a legit 60 degrees.
Yeah, that's
right
not Klishmaclaver. That's the real deal.
That's upstairs. Still dark gray clouds. Rain in the forecast. And yet we play on. Strike 3 call. There's that backdoor breaking ball that Charlie has not had a whole lot of success getting the call by Jerry Lane.
No, it really hasn't.
Gray does.
They've been off the edges, and usually Max is doing a good job of helping out. That one catches the upper portion of it, but like you said, we haven't seen too many of those called, and that's why a lot of the arguments happen, is because of the inconsistency sometimes. Jerry Lane is usually one of the best.
Not a big strikeout night tonight for John Gray. Second highest strikeout per 9 innings to Max Scherzer. Marwin 0 for 2. Had a ground out and an RBI in his last at bat. Astros scored 2 in the 4th. And they lead at 2-1. Everyone thought about laying down a bunt, able to pull the bat back. It's 1-1. Shoots that one foul. Owen looking to extend that 7-game hitting streak. Love to get on and get something going here in the 7th. The Astros leading by a run.
Still amazing that the Astros are leading this game here in the top of the 7th inning, 2-1. 1 hit on the board.
John Gray, kind of a hang with him kind of night. Good pitch. Back-to-back strikeouts for John Gray, and this will bring up Kyle Tucker with 2 outs. This week on Astros Bases Loaded, we'll recap an exciting All-Stros game. Preston Wilson plays the left center gap at Minute Maid Park. And the writer who predicted the Astros World Series championship for Sports Illustrated makes his pick for 2018. All that and more on Astros Bases Loaded after the game on AT&T Sportsnet. Kyle Tucker 0 for 2. Tucker with that 2-run triple in last night's game in the 10th inning. One and one.
I don't know, I'm kind of feeling it.
Yeah?
Kyle Tucker, he took a good pass. It's just a matter of getting a mistake, but we haven't seen too many mistakes from John Gray, but one is left up out over the plate. I'd like to see Kyle Tucker take advantage of it. Good eye. It's really been a good pitch for John Gray in this ball game is that slider. Just a nice light little bite to it down out of the zone to get some swings and misses and soft contact. But he has been on point this evening. We talked about when he's good, he's very good.
Hitters count here for Kyle Tucker. Took a 3-1 hack.
Missed it.
Yeah, you talk about with John Gray, you said when he's been good, he's been good. His 8 wins, his ERA is 1.72. In his 7 losses, his ERA is almost 9.5.
It's amazing.
Trails here 2-1 in the 7th. Tucker looking to do damage, a 3-2 pitch.
It's all right. Sometimes you dial 911 and they pick up and answer the call. Foul that one off. Fight to get yourself another pitch.
Buzzed right by his manager, too.
It's a good thing he has the trainer next to him.
Walked him.
I guess it's going to have to be somebody else, but a good AB by the young man. Not trying to expand. Sometimes you come into the Colorado and you want to do severe damage because you know if you get it well enough in the air, it has a tendency to go a long way. But instead, passes the baton. Hopefully Stassi can get himself something to handle and drive.
The way things went in that 10th inning last night, maybe he'll bat again in this inning.
That would be a lot of fun to watch.
Here's Max Stassi 0 for 2. Evan Gattis waits in the on-deck circle. When Evan Gattis steps out onto the playing surface from the dugout, that is a big man.
It's hard not to notice, huh?
It is really hard not to notice. That man has pitched an outstanding game tonight. Two good pitchers dueling in this one. Much like last night's game. They went to the 10th inning, tied it 2. Finally, somebody gets back in on a pickoff move.
It's the youngest man in the American League.
We have seen 3 players picked off in the last 2 nights at first base. Nearly 4.
In a place known for home runs, guys are getting giddy on the base pass.
There goes Tucker. Throw down. He's safe. Second career stolen base for Kyle Tucker in as many tries.
AJ showing faith in the young man, sending him here in a situation where they need a runner in scoring position. And what saved him was that ball on the long hop. Hampson couldn't get that glove down quick enough. He had to go up and get that hop. But they're going to take a peek at it because that is a lot closer than it looked from our vantage point when I first saw it.
Well, the replays have not been kind to the Astros tonight.
And again, the call is safe on the field. Is there enough to overturn it?
You judge.
Where's the contact?
Yeah,
that's the only question I have on that angle right there.
Well, the fans are reacting to the shot you just saw. And I'm not sure that you can tell when contact was made. Of course, we're looking at it through Astros orange-colored glasses.
Very orange. They called him out.
Called him out. Well, that'll retire the side. It is 7th inning stretch time. Astros on top, 2-1. Now let's send it to Brett Dolan and Mike Stanton in our Rooms to Go lounge.
Our Kubota pitching performance this evening is Charlie Morton going out there with 6 innings, 4 hits, 1 run, 4 walks, and 5 strikeouts. Efficient, threw a lot more breaking balls than we anticipated, kind of getting away from that Garrett Cole situation, but still an excellent outing for Charlie Morton.
He was in control, made the mistake to Carlos Gonzalez, but that was pretty much it. As Charlie Morton, he leaves, and when he got a little wobbly in that with the base on balls, he was able to right the ship. And now the Astros call on Joe Smith as he appears for the 2nd time in as many days, his 33rd appearance of the season.
Joe did a good job last time out. He was out here yesterday, went an inning, had 2 strikeouts.
Scoreless 8th inning last night. Strike 1. Facing 8-9-1 in the Rockies order. This is Tom Murphy, who broke his bat, and got a 2-base hit in the 5th inning. The Astros have 2 runs on 1 hit. The Rockies 1 run on 4 hits. Rockies have committed 2 errors in this game tonight. That will hit into right field. Just got enough of it. Ball got in on his hands, and he's able to just muscle his way into right field.
So the leadoff man on for the Colorado Rockies. Joe did a good job of getting in there. That's the 2nd time we've seen Murphy pull his hands in, get blown up, and get rewarded for it.
A.J. Hinch will come out. He'll take the ball from Joe Smith. So a pitching change as Tony Sipp comes in for the Astros. Houston on top, 2-1 in the bottom of the 7th.
Thank you for voting at ATT Sportsnet SW. If you're planning an Astros vacation, which city would you most like to see them play in? Is it Seattle? Well, I asked this already. Seattle, Denver, Chicago. Boston's going to be the winner, though. Votes spread out. I was thinking Seattle would be way up there. That's usually very popular. But Boston, Astros will visit Beantown in September.
No wrong answer.
No.
No wrong answer. Seattle's a great place to visit. Boston, the Astros will go there in September. That'll be the same weekend that the Texans will be playing the Patriots that weekend. So there'll be a lot of Houston influence in New England. Tony Sipp on for the Astros for his 29th appearance.
Last saw Tony on the 21st. Went an inning in Anaheim. Gave up a couple of hits, had a strikeout.
This is Raimel Tapia. Tapia lays it down. J.D. Davis will throw to second and get the lead runner.
It's a nice play.
Yes, it was. Tapia is on the fielder's choice. Murphy erased.
And when you're sacrifice bunting with a runner on first base, you want to bunt that ball towards first base, force the first baseman to make that play because he's holding that runner on. The third baseman is usually cheating in, like you saw J.D. Davis right there. Cheating in, saw the hitter square around, made a move towards home, and made a great play on that bunt to get the lead runner.
So now left on left, Tony Sipp facing Charlie Blackmon. Hit by a pitch in the third, walked in the fifth. He's 0 for 1.
Another peek at J.D. Davis. You see him already cheating in, and see where Yuli is playing on the bag. It's a little bit further place for him to come running in, and it's also a tougher throw. But with that pitch going towards J.D. Davis, an easy thought process when that ball is bunted hard to him to get that lead runner. You also have to know the speed of the runner too. Tom Murphy, the catcher. Catchers typically aren't the fastest guys on the field, so well played.
Tapia close. Tapia had a pinch hit grand slam on Friday night against Arizona. Time is called and granted to Charlie Blackmon.
It was late, but warranted in the situation. With the runner at first base, Tony Sipp's trying to hold a little bit longer and kind of mess with the timing of the base runner if Tapia is thinking about stealing a bag, but it also messes with the hitter.
He's not attempted a steal. I called from Albuquerque in August, or make it June 30th. Ball and a strike.
As a hitter, usually around that 3-second mark is when you want to call that timeout, because that just gets a little too stagnant in the box and you start to move and you lose that rhythm.
And even as a fan watching, you know when it's time. It's that internal clock. Rockies' one run has come on a solo home run by Carlos Gonzalez. It's been a well-pitched ball game. Astros 2 runs on 1 hit. Rockies 1 run on 5 hits. They've committed 2 errors. Three and 1.
Not a bad time for a slider, but it would have been a little bit better trying to stay started at the middle part of the plate and have it break down and away. But a couple pitches well off the outside corner have put Charlie Blackmon in that 3-1 count.
Three balls and 2 strikes. Charlie Morton started. Joe Smith came in and faced Tom Murphy, gave up a hit on the fielder's choice and sacrifice attempt by Tapia. He's at first base. Charlie Blackmon batting with 1 out. Bottom of the 7th inning, Astros on top 2-1. Good crowd on hand tonight. I thought the crowd would be kept away a little bit by the threat of bad weather in the area. They're bundled up here on a 60-degree night in Denver. The 3-2. Ball 4. Runners at first and second with 1 out. A.J. Hinch is coming out. The home plate umpire, Jerry Lane.
Usually in a National League ballpark, when the manager goes to the home plate umpire, it ends up being a double switch.
That's what I was thinking, but finally Tony Kemp has come out of the... I kept looking at the dugout waiting for another player to come out. Nobody did. Finally Tony Kemp does. So Tony Kemp is into the game. There's a pitching change on the double switch. We'll get it all set up for you when we come back. Astros on top 2-1 in the 7th.
On who is it? Slidell, drafted by the Rockies, all-star. A lot of people, I think, got this one right. Yep, Will Harris, hometown, Slidell, Louisiana. 9th round pick by Colorado in the 2006 Major League Draft. 2016 American League All-Star for the Houston Astros. Also attended LSU.
Former Rocky, another former Rocky comes in. Colin McHugh, talk about economical.
Yeah.
Came in last night. He threw 1 pitch and got 2 outs.
Can't teach that. It's natural.
He has been fantastic.
Helps out that ERA that's been fantastic for Colin throughout this season, down to .94. Looking to pitch himself and the Astros out of this jam with 2 runners on and 1 out.
Houston on top 2-1. We're in the bottom of the 7th inning. Strike 1 to Ian Desmond. Desmond 1 for 3, a single in the 3rd inning. Broken bat single it was. Tony Kemp has come in for the Astros. So on the double switch, ball's inside. Tony Kemp will go into the 9 spot, so he'll be due up 2nd in the inning. Pitcher spot will be Kyle Tucker's spot in the order. He made the last out in the inning. The ball hit in for a base hit. Tapia had to hold for a moment, so the bases will be loaded with 1 out.
What do they call it? Death by pinpricks? Gosh, nobody hitting the ball hard off Astros pitching here in this inning. Just a couple of duck snorts. We learned about that yesterday, and now we're getting a pretty good idea of what they are. Base hits just lofted over the heads of the infielders for the Astros. But with that ball not being hit that hard, you see Tapia has to hold his ground and unable to score on the base hit. Hopefully that benefits the Astros, but you've got a tough man at the plate right now.
Arenado's 0 for 3. Bases loaded and 1 out. Strike 1. And here comes the rain. One ball and 1 strike. No balls and 2 strikes. And fouled back.
Colin challenging him 0-2.
Dangerous hitter in a big situation. Bases loaded, the 0-2 pitch with 1 out. Bregman over, make it J.D. Davis, and Davis!
He's going home.
A great catch to throw home and gets away. So Tapia scores to tie the game at 2. It was J.D. Davis who came over to make that play. A fantastic play by Davis, but unable to make the throw home, and Max Stassi couldn't handle it. That will tie the game.
Ended up being a sac fly to third. But my gosh, this is an incredible play by J.D. Davis, just going all out. Forget about the body, forget about where that dugout is. Go get the baseball. That's what was in his head right there, and he did it. And in doing so, almost goes in and gets help by Evan Gaddis to stay in the game. But I'm not sure he had a grip coming out of that.
I don't think so either.
Kind of lofted it.
Now Bud Black is going to have the umpires talk about this.
You could see J.D. Davis kind of clamping his legs around that top rail, keeping himself from going into the dugout.
So it was a high throw to Stassi, but like you said, just the fact that he made that catch to begin with. Used to seeing Bregman there at third base. J.D. Davis making a Bregman-like play.
Heads up play by all the base runners too. Moving ahead 90 feet.
Could they be talking about the Astros pushing him back?
That's
into
what
play?
I'm wondering,
That's what
if you know, and they're just going to let it go. Because I'm not definitive on the call. If he does go into the dugout, do the runners get 90 feet? But as he makes the catch, momentum takes him into the dugout. But again, his legs, you can actually see him bring the knees down to keep him on that top rail. But it's obvious that Evan Gaddis helps him get back in there. Man, if that throws on the money, that would have been one of the more incredible double plays you'll ever see. And that's what Bud Black is arguing with the umpires. Can a player on the bench help an active player in the field of play back onto the field?
I'd be hard-pressed to find a sac fly going a shorter distance. Great play by J.D. Davis. I'm not sure if when he went to throw the ball, he didn't brush it along the side of the head of Evan Gaddis.
The beard?
Maybe. The Astros appeal at third base.
Well, that was the other thing I was thinking about.
down.
You've got to try and appeal because maybe somebody picks up something. I might even appeal second base to see if the guys behind him tagged up appropriately.
So 2-2 is the score. Carlos Gonzalez takes strike one. Gonzalez has been half the offense with that solo home run. McHugh quickly ahead. Tied at 2. Where have you seen this before?
It's like deja vu all over again.
0-2 pitch. Struck him out. Stassi will throw down. And that'll retire the side. But the Rockies get a run and tie it. We go to the 8th, tied at 2.
Wells Fargo. Season matchup between the Texas Rangers and Houston Astros. The Astros will take on those Texas Rangers when we get back this weekend for a quick 3-game homestand. 12 wins for the Houston Astros. And pretty much every other category is egregiously on the side of the Houston Astros in that series.
There's been a one-sided affair, that is for sure. It's been a tough go here the last couple of days, especially for the Texas Rangers. Ooh, an 8-run lead last night.
Yeah, there's a lot going on in Arlington.
Adam Ottavino comes in relief for the Colorado Rockies. Outstanding night tonight by John Gray with 7 strong innings, gave up 1 earned run on 1 hit.
Yes, very impressive.
Ottavino pitched in last night's game. He was really the only man out of that Rockies bullpen that had any kind of success last night. If you're the Astros, this is the game you want to be in, getting into that bullpen. The Rockies bullpen combined numbers of .584 is the ERA. Strike 3 call.
Ottavino. Fastball around 94. It's that cutter slider split mix. The secondary pitches that are highly effective for Ottavino, staying down in the zone.
Came in relief of Tyler Anderson last night after Anderson went 7 1/3. Faced 2 Astros and struck them both out. Faces Tony Kemp here. Kemp entered the game on the double switch in the last inning. Rockies spent a ton of money in the offseason on that bullpen. Tony Kemp. 2 outs. Join the Astros at Minute Maid Park Saturday as they take on the Rangers. 10,000 fans in attendance will receive a Lone Star Series T-shirt presented by Germania Insurance. For tickets and information, visit astros.com/promotions. Those fans looking for some more late inning heroics in this one like we saw last night. George Springer, who homered last night in the 10th inning, steps in here in the 8th.
Well, if anything, if you're an Astro fan, you know not to leave once that 7th inning starts, no matter what the score is, because these guys can go out and put on a barrage of base hits, walks, runs scored from that 7th inning on. They were one of the better ball clubs at it. But we saw a great example of it last night in extras.
Rockies spent more than $100 million in the offseason. Wade Davis, Brian Shaw, Jake McGee. Those 3 alone, ERA nearly 6. Second highest bullpen ERA in baseball, and the Royals with a higher ERA.
And a lot less costly.
Just dropped another degree. It's 59 degrees.
I felt it too.
Astros 2 runs on just 1 hit. Struck him out on the foul tip. Go to the bottom of the 8th in a 2-2 game.
Visiting clubhouses will do everything that they can to set up and have the team feel like they're at home when they arrive. Well, here at Coors Field, the visiting clubhouse attendants and the manager took it one step further. Yesterday, They were sporting Quad City River Bandit shirts, the A-ball for the Houston Astros. Clubhouse manager is Alan Bossart. All the way on the left, they were in Bettendorf, Iowa. That's one of the 4 cities. They were at a reunion for his wife. They got 2-for-1 tickets, so they went, spent $14 to get in, and he realized Astros were coming into town, so he went and bought 8 T-shirts to bring back for the guys to wear on the first day. So it was a good conversation piece. A lot of these guys in this Astros clubhouse went through there, played for that team. Pretty fun stuff as you saw them walking around in those shirts.
That is so funny you say that. I walked into AJ's office yesterday, walking through the clubhouse, and see a guy thinking, is that a Quad Cities T-shirt?
I did the same. That's how I got the story. But him spending $14 on the tickets, he said he spent almost $350 on the T-shirts. So it ended up being an expensive game for him. But they had some fun with it. It's very nice of them.
Proud of their T-shirts in Quad Cities. Here's Trevor Story. Story walked and reached third base in the 6th inning. Bottom of the 8th, a 2-2 ball game. Colin McHugh came in the 7th, gave up a hit, then a strange sacrifice fly that J.D. Davis made the play, falling into the dugout. Throw that got away at home plate. He just made it look easy against Trevor Story.
Struck him out.
Yes, he did. Or did he?
Oh, it hit the dirt. But Max Stassi is going to get an Emmy for that. Show it to the umpire, play it off.
Got it. It's right here.
No
That's a
replay.
McHugh's second strikeout. Colin McHugh, very briefly a Colorado Rocky. Swing and a miss by Gerardo Parra. Parra 0 for 2. Made 4 appearances, 4 starts as a Colorado Rocky in 2013. He was 0-3 with a .995 ERA. Was his stop before coming to the Astros and turning his career around in 2014. He went from 0-3 with a .995 ERA his first year in Houston. He was 11-9, and he won 19 games in 2015. What he has been able to do out of the Astros bullpen this season, that he pushed out of that starting rotation, has made the most of his opportunity out of the pen. Strikes out the first 2 men he faces in the 8th.
Are you the ultimate Southwest fan? Louisiana, July is your month to show your spirit. Use hashtag UltimateSWFanLA on Twitter to show us, and you could win a jersey and a VIP experience. So tweet now and win big.
Is this the most orange you've seen outside of Arlington?
Yes,
on the road?
By far. It's been really impressive.
Garrett Hampson bats and sends one into the seats. It's 0-1. Hampson 0 for 2 with a walk. He was picked off in the 2nd inning by Charlie Morton. Morton started this game with 6 innings of 1 run, 4-hit baseball. Charlie struck out 5, walked 4, gave up a home run to Carlos Gonzalez. Curveball in there, strike 2.
There was a pretty good eruption last night when Tony Kemp got that big hit to push across that go-ahead run for the Astros. That left side of the stadium here in Coors just to their feet and got loud.
They were chanting, "Let's go Astros" earlier tonight. I mean, it was prevalent.
Shoot, we walked home last night out of the stadium, get about 15 feet out of the main concourse, and they're like, Kevin, you know, so it was a lot of fun to see the fans out there and interact.
Ball hit deep to center. Springer can't get there. It's up against the wall. Hamps it into third, and he'll be held up there. A stand-up triple, the first of Garrett Hampson's career. The ball was hit well.
It was hit well, and the Astros in that exaggerated shift. You can see George Springer starting from right center field. Gave it everything he had, tried to lay out and make the miraculous catch, but could not do so. Did a good job of popping back up and getting that ball back in as quickly as he possibly could. But a last-ditch effort with that dive.
Fortunate that ball did not bounce off his glove or take a strange carom, because if it does, Hampson scores easily. He's one of the fastest players in the Rockies organization. Tom Murphy bats with a runner at third and 2 outs. 2-2 game. Murphy 2 for 3. Has not hit the ball hard tonight, but he's put it in the right place. Houston Methodist League leaders. Astros allowing just right at 3 runs per game on the road. Those are some big-time teams. 68 Tigers went to the World Series. 68 Indians are in there as well. 68 Orioles. Swing and a miss. Big strikeout by Colin McHugh. We go to the 9th in a 2-2 game. Toyota, let's go places. And by Arctic, overbuilt, not overpriced. Kevin Eschenfelder, Jeff Lum with you upstairs. Julia Morales braving the elements downstairs. Todd Callis will be back with you coming up on Friday night as the Texas Rangers come to town to start a 3-game series. And the one man I did not think we would see on the mound tonight was a man who really struggled last night. That's Wade Davis.
Yeah, he picked up that 3rd loss last night against the Astros. Went an inning and a third, gave up 4 hits, 5 runs. All of them earned, had a walk and a strikeout. Did so on 26 pitches. But Bud Black going back to Wade Davis. It's been a rough week for him also. Giving up some runs in this series so far, but he's back out there to try and extend this ball game.
Bregman bats in a 2-2 game in the 9th. Alex Now reached base in 27 consecutive games. He walked and scored in the 4th inning. That is the longest current streak in baseball. This is outside. It was on this day in 2016, Alex Bregman made his major league debut. Went 0 for 4 in that game against the New York Yankees at Minute Maid Park. A much anticipated major league debut, not just for Astro fans, but also for Alex Bregman. One ball and 2 strikes.
Guys just recently voted on by former players received the Astros Heart and Hustle Award. Very excited for him, as he said. A lot of respect for those who have voted on that award with former players, but also the other guys on other teams that got nominated. And then he said just the guys in this clubhouse, they all deserve the Heart and Hustle Award. So huge honor for Bregman a couple days ago.
Especially coming from the teammates, and it's about playing the game the right way, love for the game. Swing and a miss. Oh, got a piece of it.
Just barely.
2-2. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Good command of that strike zone. Alex Bregman laying off that cut fastball on the outside corner. Wade Davis has several pitches off that fastball that are very effective, and that cut fastball is one of them.
Stayed alive at 3-2.
Cutter averages 89 miles an hour, but you can see it can get up to 92.
Early in his career, he was a time power reliever. Called him out on the swing on the appeal. This one may be worth another look.
Not too many
AJ's
infielders.
gonna come
There's
out.
not too many infielders left on that bench for AJ Hinch. He's got to protect Bregman and get him in there. Altuve came out of this game early with that right knee soreness. They need to keep Alex in there, but he's a competitor, and he feels that didn't constitute a swing. It is borderline.
And don't forget, Bregman's got that 3-base hit that got erased.
Yeah, he's
fresh
had
on
an
his mind
interesting
as well.
evening.
And Bregman hit a ball, the fan reached over, ended up at 3rd base. A little fan interference and an out. So 1 out in the 9th. J.D. Davis with his 2nd at bat. Grounded out to 2nd in the 6th inning. Altuve left this game with knee discomfort after doubling in a run. Davis came in to play 3rd. Everyone moved around. Marwin moved from short to 2nd, and Bregman moved to shortstop. Two and 1. With the Royals with a higher bullpen ERA. The Astros have scored more runs on the road than anyone. Two and 2. stays alive. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Astros at 31 games over 500. That ties their high water mark of the season as they play at 67 and 36. On the ground to Trevor Story. 2 outs.
Every Sunday home game at Minute Maid Park is Kroger Family Sunday. Bring the whole family out to the ballpark for a family 4-pack that includes 4 tickets, 4 hot dogs, and 4 sodas starting at only $70. Visit Astros.com/Sundays for tickets and info.
Day off tomorrow. The Astros will be back for the Rangers starting on Friday night. Dallas Keuchel will be on the hill for the Astros on Friday. Verlander goes on Saturday, and Lance McCullers on Sunday. Astros have won 12 of the 16 head-to-head meetings with the Texas Rangers this season. Quick stop over the weekend and back out on the road to Seattle, LA for the Dodgers, and San Francisco to take on the Giants. Astros still with 13 games remaining against the Seattle Mariners. They'll be through with the Rangers after this weekend. It's 1-1. Yuli reached on an error in the 4th inning. He's 0 for 3.
It's been a tough road trip for Yuli. 2 for 31 on this road trip. Couple of RBIs.
And left with a 13-game hitting streak, or extended his 13-game hitting streak on the first game of this road trip. That was Friday night.
I think you just called him a streaker.
He's a streaker. (3-1). Ball 4. Astros with a base runner with 2 outs in the 9th. Yuli's aboard for the 2nd time tonight. Now Josh Reddick, who reached on a catcher's interference in the 4th. That was the 8th time this season he has reached on catcher's interference. That's the most in Major League Baseball. Hear the woos. Strike 1.
Still only 1 hit in this game. The guy with the hit is not playing in this game anymore. It was that opposite field double by Jose Altuve.
That was in the 4th inning. Bregman's still thinking about that check swing that he thought it was on the ground. Oop. Going through the wickets. Altuve left with discomfort in his knee after hitting that double, the only hit in the game for the Astros. An RBI double in a 2-run 4th inning. We're tied at 2. Guy in the background thought it was a strike. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs in a 2-2 game. We go to the bottom of the 9th. Tied at 2. your local Ford dealers. Dallas Keuchel will be on the hill as the Astros welcome in the Texas Rangers. He has been anything but welcoming. Last time out in Anaheim, took that no-hitter into the 7th inning. He's been flat nasty in his last 7 starts. 5-0 with an ERA of even 2. Opponent's hitting just .226 over those 7 starts.
And it's crazy to think, even though he gave up that 1 earned run last time we saw him in Anaheim, he actually could have pitched better. Defense kind of faltered a little bit behind him, giving up that run, but it has been impressive to see him turn that corner and make those last 7 starts a 5-0 stretch.
Bottom of the 9th inning. In there for a strike. A foul back. Cuevas comes in here to bat in the 9th. Well, Cuevas was also a pinch runner in last night's game. 9-1-2 due up here for the Rockies. That one up the middle. Fielded by Marwin, throws across, and there's 1 away. Marwin playing second base for Jose Altuve, who left the game, and Colin McHugh continuing to work. Blackman 0 for 1, but he's reached base 3 times his last 3 plate appearances. Hit by pitch, and he's walked twice. Two and 0. Blackman, a 3-time All-Star, representing the National League in D.C. last week. Colin McHugh over 30 pitches. Three and 1. Last 4 outs that Colin McHugh had recorded were by strikeout, before Cuevas grounded out to the second baseman, Marwin Gonzalez. That ball hit well to right center field, and it is gone. Charlie Blackman walks it off, and the Colorado Rockies get the win 3-2.
It was a heck of a job by Colin McHugh to fight through this, trying to get through this 9th inning and give the Astros an opportunity. But when your offense goes out there in a place like Colorado and only puts up 1 hit, it's going to be tough to win ball games.
Rockies get the win, 3-2 the final. We'll come back and wrap things up in a moment.